And today, we'll be talking about, we'll be reviewing some things that we may have heard or already know. It will be some form of question and answer. We're going to take a quiz that won't be recorded, but I just want for us to process some things. We'll definitely, after the discussion, after the class, have a discussion. So I will ask some questions, I'll throw out some questions, and I'll give us a moment to process it, and I'll give my own response. Then at the end of the class, I would like to also hear your responses, how you're doing with this, to make us to have some introspective, deep questions and answers within. So the first statement I would read is, life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. And the question will be, who do you think said this? I'll give us a moment. And the person that said it, it's Ernest Holmes. He's the one that said life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. Then the question it's now again the second question, what do you think this means? Life is a thinker and will reflect back. Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. You want to give us a moment to think about this question, that life is a mirror and will reflect back what we think into it. If you like, you may want to write some things down. And let me go to my own explanation of what this means, or what Ernest Holmes is talking about. And he's trying to emphasize the power of our thoughts and our beliefs. We often know here that our thoughts are things, our thoughts are creative, and when we want to create, we create from our beliefs and our thoughts. Those are the things that bring forth so many of the things, our reality. Just as a mirror reflects our physical image, life reflects the nature of our internal beliefs and thoughts. And that's why in most of our classes we talk about beliefs that we've held onto that are not bringing us to the place where we want to. We have some traditional beliefs, some religious beliefs, things that hinder us from becoming who we have come here to be. How are we doing with those beliefs? Are we getting rid of them? Because if we don't, it will definitely influence what we are creating. And when we approach life from a position of positivity, life tends to reflect that back to us in various ways. Just like they say, if you smile, you'll be smiled back at you. If you smile at someone. So life is like a mirror reflecting your feelings, your actions, and your thoughts. Fundamentally, we know that the thoughts of God for us, the thoughts of the universe for us, are thoughts of good and not of bad. But we can decide which way we want to take. If you have your negative thoughts, it will reflect back onto you negativity. And the idea is that everything you experience in life is a reflection of yourself. That's very deep. Everything we experience is a reflection, because life reflects back to us what we give unto it. It's like a mirror. We know that already. And we also, through this teaching, know that the universe is constantly waiting to respond to any action, anything we put out. 247 responds to it. So you find out that you have some reactions from people and you're wondering where it's coming from. Maybe it's time for us to look deep and know what we are reflecting, what we are putting out. People would always react to what they see from you. Sometimes we do some things we do not even know we are doing it consciously, because they're deep-rooted subconscious thoughts and beliefs that just play out. And this is basically that the idea here is that what you get is what you give. If you give out kindness, you will receive that. Just like what you reap is what you sow. If you're kind, people will be kind unto you. If you care, you will attract that onto your life too. If you help, if you give helping hands to people, you will also receive that. So this is basically saying that what you get is what you give. Life, every day, it's a mirror. If you give negative things, if you give hate, if you're angry, you get that also in return. Again, we could say from science is an action and reaction. For every action, there is a corresponding reaction. But this, we might not see it because this is life. It just reflects back to you what you are giving unto it. That's why we get surprised. People treat us in accordance to how we treat them. We just see this manifest in our everyday life. And what does that bring us to know? It just makes us know that we are the master of our destiny. So if whatever you want to see coming at you, you can change that by what you give in, by what you give. We are the master of our destiny. Our mind, you, are the cause and at the same time the solution to most of your problems. If take you back a little to economics, your input processed will give the output. So if we want whatever output we want, we have to give a commensurate input to get that output. The barriers that we see may have been created by us. You create your obstacles, we create our barriers. Most of the obstacles we face in life are self-imposed. Again, according to Dr. Grayson, we don't like hearing this. We are responsible for our lives. And we also say that we are our worst enemies. So, again, fundamentally, we are wanting to know what we believe in. And if they are not life-giving, we know through this teaching that we can change those things. Anything in the past that we still hold on to that is slowing us down, that's preventing us from being who we have come here to be, we learn to release it. Release beliefs that are not of taking us to a higher good, because we constantly want to move from good to greater good. So we are constantly releasing those things because subconsciously or consciously, they reflect back to us. So the outcome of a situation or the realization of a goal is directly tied to what we believe to be true or possible. Let's see, we're still talking about life being a mirror and reflecting back to us what we think into it. So in other words, if you truly believe and stretch our faith while walking in the direction of our faith, we'll receive and attract what we want. Remember, you have the power, I have the power. We have this thing within us. We have these treasures within us. And we can use it for our own good. So when we strongly believe and expect, we'll manifest things into reality. So again, we are a product of what we think. If you think good things, you will produce good things, because they are the things that occupy our mind, and from that position we create. That brings me to what Napoleon said, that our thoughts are things. I mean, they seem intangible, but they're so powerful because they can create things into being. Because wherever we talk, wherever we speak from that position of what we have within us. We are an aggregation of our thoughts. And these thoughts are powerful, they are creative. That's what we learn here every day. Another quote here says, what we think, we become. Again, trace it from where we started, that life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. And so if we have good thoughts, or fill ourselves with good things, of prosperity, of love, of joy, of abundance, of health, of everything good, we have the capability, the capacity to bring that to pass. Remember, we speak from the abundance of what we have within. And those things are powerful, they are creative. So, again, fundamentally, life, it's a mirror, and it will reflect back to you, back to me, what I think into it. And the idea here is to change your thoughts, monitor your thoughts. If there are not things you want, we know how to nip it up in the bud and replace it with good thoughts, because we want to create the today, the tomorrow that is desirable. Okay, I'll go to the second statement and the second question. I am in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. I give us a moment to process this. I am in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Who do you think said this? Okay, this was said by Louise, and this statement makes me feel, it's just like saying divine order. Everything, anywhere we are, it's an orchestration by the divine. I gave some explanation according to Louise Hay and what I feel about I am in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. This statement is an affirmation about aligning oneself with the flow of the universe. You know, everything we gather here to learn, that we teach to learn, it's partly how to align ourselves with the universe, the flow of the universe. Because once we achieve that, that is just a wonderful place to be, always. Because that alignment will give you peace, will give us peace. It's harmonious, it's wonderful, it's beautiful. And everything so reconciles perfectly. You know, when you say the thing, you aligned, you're so dovetailed with the universe, there's no space in between, that you're one with the universe, you're one with God. That means everything you do is ordered by the divine. Your speech, your actions, your activities, you are one with the divine and you're ordered by this. How wonderful would that be? And that's what we always say, that declare that affirmation. I am in the right place, right time, doing the right thing. because we are constantly affirming and trying to reenact that alignment, one with God, one with the universe, one with the flow of universe. That is peaceful. That is wonderful place always to be. And when we believe and state that we're exactly where we are supposed to be, doing exactly what we are meant to be doing, we manifest harmony and purpose in our lives. You know, it's such an important thing, especially in moments that we are in, where everywhere is turbulent things. There are so many things distracting us. How wonderful to know that you are one with God, you are one with the universe, you are in alignment with the Spirit. You know how peaceful that would be, even when everybody's troubled. The peace, like they say, peace like a river. Peaceful, you just be peaceful, knowing that everything is in order, everything is working out for your own good. That is a realm that we would always want to be in. So we manifest a life that is free of doubt. When doubts come, when fear comes, you know you're aligned. It's just a moment, it's just a phase, it's passing through. I am in line with constant power, love, grace, beauty, abundance. I'm in tune, I'm in tandem with it. Nothing will shake you. You're free of doubt, you're free of regret, you're free of second guessing. Not that it won't come, but when you come and remember where you're aligned to, the source, the power, it gives you peace. I have some quotes to support this. Follow your bliss, and the universe will open doors for you where there were only walls. This was said by Joseph Campbell. In other words, when you are aligned, you see beyond the now, because the eventual outcome, it's good because you know all is well. Even when you are facing obstruction, you know that he who you are aligned to, he who you are connected to, the universe you're connected to, is powerful and will definitely see you beyond the obstruction. So we follow your bliss, and the universe will open doors for you where there were only walls. I have a thought statement. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. To be yourself in a world that is trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Do we know who said this? Who do you think said this? It was said by Ralph Waldo Emerson. This is a very, very powerful statement. Dr. Greg often quotes Emerson, and he loves Emerson. And Emerson is always encouraging us to become our best selves. There's always room for us to improve what we are now, to become authentic, to become unique. There's only one James, and there's only one of you. You're unique. You're special. There's none like you. We're connected. We have the same spirit. He wants us to realize that we are here to live a wonderful life. So anything short of that, it's not what you have come here to be. But would there be things to hinder you, obstruct you from being that? Yes, definitely. But through the power that we have within us, we can always go beyond the obstruction, because we are created here to live a wonderful life. There's so many societal pressures and expectations that people are, before they even get to a situation, they're overwhelmed with the things they hear, they see, and watch. But this statement is to let us know that we are unique. And it will let us know that we have come here to know what we have come here to do. Your purpose is not the same with my purpose. And when we understand this and walk in the direction of align ourselves with the universe, we understand ourselves more. And we are authentic in everything we do. We always wanting to be the best self of ourselves, not a second of another person. Always for us to be the best that we can be of ourselves. I have a supporting quote here. Always be a first-rate version of yourself. And this can only be when we understand that you are unique in your ways. Yes, the same spirit, but you are unique. We are always wanting to be the best James that I can be. Best version of myself. And not of another person, of yourself. Instead of a second-rate version of somebody else. This was a quote from Judy Garland. This teaching makes us know that we are authentic, we are unique, we have so much power within us, and we are always wanting to be the best self that we can be, not a second-rate version of another person. This was a quote I said earlier by Emerson, and is a very powerful. You are not inferior to anyone. You're not second-rate version of anything. You are unique. We are always wanting to move from good to greater good, always. That is what this teaching, this lesson is all about. Being the best version of yourself. Then this fourth statement here, it's change your thoughts and you change your world. I give you a moment to think about this. Who do you think said this? Change your thoughts and you change your world. Okay, this statement was it's a little tricky because it was attributed to being said by Norman Vincent Peale. And it aligns closely with the teachings of both Ernest Holmes and Louise. So if you said any of the three, it's correct. But again, it's a powerful, powerful, powerful statement. Change your thoughts and you change your world. Wear the glasses, like Dr. Greg would always say, and you see differently. Again, everything we are trying to bring out from this place, this center, it's for us to change our thoughts. If they are not the thoughts that are life-giving, we want to change it. Because once we are able to change it to thoughts that are good, are pure, are great, are abundant, we also see a resultant effect on our lives. I mean, if you've been in these classes, especially the Thursday class, we're always talking about the tendencies of our thoughts. And I'm always happy to hear that people talk about, oh, in a particular day, this was happening. I realized I was going down there and I nipped it in the bud and changed my thoughts and started creating something else. That is all what we are trying to bring out. If we are able to catch ourselves, this is particularly a Thursday thing. That's why Dr. Greg will always ask, what has it been like being you this week? Because we're trying to monitor those thoughts, how they move. Remember, we say thoughts are things, our thoughts are creative. If we know when we're beginning to process thoughts that are not life-giving, and we nip it up in the bud and change it. and begin to fill ourselves with thoughts that are good. If it means changing what you're watching or listening to meditation or something, to just move that thoughts to positive thoughts. And be amazed that you've done a great thing. That's a demonstration, because you definitely see something happen when we change our thoughts. So when we change our thoughts, we change our world. Again, everything that is in our thoughts, our mind, we've traced it down to our beliefs in the past, things we are used to, we've gotten used to, that become normal for us, but we don't know that creating our tomorrow, our today, creating our reality. So we want to be mindful of those thoughts. And through this class, it's practice and practice. We keep practicing. It's hard, but it will definitely happen. We get better with it. It says faith comes by hearing. So when we hear these lessons and practice, it becomes easier, because again, it goes into our subconscious and we'll begin to create from that. So that internal dialogue, it's very important. What do you say to yourself? Oh, you have this task, I can't do it, it's too big. And once you we all experience this, once you continue on that track of you can't do it, you begin to find more reasons why you won't be able to do that. It begins to overwhelm you. You get down within you, in your spirit, and those things begin to manifest. But if we realize that is taking over our mind, our thoughts, and we change it and declare things that are life. I can do all things. I'm powerful. I'm one with the universe. Align yourself, your thoughts to the universe, and you begin to experience a flow of power, energy come within you, and ideas. You can do it. Even if nobody ever succeeded at doing that, you can do it, because you have everything you need for life and godliness within you. So we want to monitor our internal dialogue and make sure they are positive. They won't always be, but we want to know when they are going down to stop it. That's what we teach here. Those negative narratives, we want to catch them. If you want, like some people say, they are by themselves and they just say, get out, get out. Now, next, you're trying to just wipe out the thoughts that are not what you want. And like I said, this is an important thing on our Thursday Louise Hill self-healing class, because that Dr. Greg teaches. Because everything that we see on the outside started somewhere in our mind, in our thoughts. So this is very important for us to always catch ourselves and change those thoughts. I have a quote here that says by Buddha, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. I don't need to talk about it, it's very clear. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. So whatever you see around anybody is that person's predominant thoughts. What you think, you become. What I think, I become. And that's why sometimes we just put things in our houses that when you see, you speak life to yourself, affirmations, things. I am bold, I am blessed, I am powerful, I am victorious, I am abundant, I'm supplied and supported. You keep saying it to fill your within with it, and you begin to manifest that. Okay, I have the fifth statement. It says, every thought we think is creating our future. Who do you think said this? I'll give you a moment. It was said by Louise Hay. Every thought we think is creating our future. Of course, everything here is so linked together. Our thoughts are powerful. They are creative. Of course, we all know that Louise Hay is a trained practitioner here at the center before she moved on at First Church of Religious Science. And through her practices here and the classes here, she understood the creative power of thoughts. Your thoughts, my thoughts, are powerful. Every thought is like a seed. When they are nourished, it has the potential to shape our future experiences. Just like seed, if you sow a seed and begin to water it, give it manure, it will blossom, it will germinate, it will grow. Our thoughts are like that. If you nourish your thoughts, if you constantly fill yourself with thoughts that you're blessed, you're rich, and begin to nourish it and begin to do things in the direction of what your thoughts are, it will manifest and be consistent. I have a quote here from Abraham Lincoln that says, the best way to predict the future is to create it. I mean, I don't need to go to any soothsayer to tell me what would happen to me tomorrow. You, me, we have the power to do that. So you would know what your tomorrow would be by what you are doing today. You don't need anybody to prophesy or say anything to you. If you want to have something tomorrow, begin to create it today. If you want to have a complete drawing, begin to draw. Start drawing it today. And water it. That's a wonderful, 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 powerful statement. The best way to predict the future is to create it. And we say this every time. We have the power to do that. We are connected with power. We've talked about aligning ourselves with the universe, the flow of the universe, because that gives us harmony, peace. We can create it. I like this one especially. The best way to predict the future is to create it. So whatever you want to see tomorrow, begin now to declare it, create it, write it down, look at it every day, declare it. Ideas concerning that will come to you. Just like when you start looking for a particular thing, all of a sudden you start seeing it all over the place. You attract it. So let's create our future by what we're doing today. Then the sixth statement is, the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Wonderful. Who do you think said this? It was said by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Ooh, these are very, very strong words. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Again, it goes back to you have everything within you. It's your decision. Here, Emerson highlights the power of choice. You have options. It's your choice. It's your choice. It's my choice. It's entirely up to you. So you don't have anybody to blame or to cast blame, or nobody's even blaming you. Who you are, it's entirely up to you. You are the CEO of your life, of every situation. It's your decision. It's my decision. So when we know that it's our decision, it's almost, we don't say it's our destiny. We have a destiny. Our destiny is not pre-written. It's not fixed. It's your choice to determine what that would be by what we are doing. Again, on the one side, it's how wonderful it is to know that It's our choice. Why don't we make the right choices that we want? It's everything that you see is your decision to do that, to make that. Our decisions, our actions, the person we are, we have chosen that to be. Whatever you're seeing that you are, it's your choice. And we know through this teaching that every of these things is shaped by our consciousness. And again, we've talked about the things that fill our consciousness, our thoughts, our beliefs. When we understand the little things that make who we are, then we begin to monitor those things and see them. What are we letting into our being? Because those things eventually become our subconscious act, and we create from that. What are you listening in the company of who, and who are you that affects you? So consciousness is going to be the totality of what you understand, consciously or subconsciously. And it's reflected in our life always. I have a supporting quote here. Our life is what our thoughts make it. This was by Marcus Aurelius. So these are very, very wonderful quotes that determine who we are, our outcome, our results. And through these our classes and teaching, we are always trying to make us understand that we have the choice, we have the power, we can create, we can nip some thoughts that are not life-giving. We have the power to do all that. We learn how to use our power, because if you don't use it, it's there. It becomes latent power. So we want to know we have this power because we are connected to power, to the universe. And we want to be using it daily for our own good, for our own good, for our own good, always. So, concluding, how did you think you did on the little quiz? Did you do well? Did we get the quotes and who said them and the meanings? Ernest Holmes said, we are one with this loving source energy that many of us call is God's spirit. We are one with it. We are one with it. And once you have access, you're one with power. How are we using it for our own good? Are you using this power to move you from good to greater good? Or are you just letting the power be there and not use it?